Hi Pisces, welcome to March. So this is your reading for March. Welcome back for those of you who are returning. Welcome to those of you who are new and who don't know me. So let me just quickly introduce myself. I'm just burning a little bit of Palo Santo to get everything started. My name is Flo, and I am doing your tarot readings. So it's Flo and the Moon, and I am going to be doing your tarot readings for the month of March. So I'm just using this to clear the space a bit. Right, so this reading is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. Oh, and happy birthday, right? Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday for those who had birthdays at the end of February, and happy birthday for those of you having them in March. So it's a good month for you. Sun, Moon, Rising, and also welcome cross watchers. With anything, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of how I'm going to do this. I'm going to begin with doing a kind of like an intuition reading on it. I've done some meditations, and last night before I went to bed, I knew I was doing readings for specific signs, and my dreams have just been, my third eye is just wake, 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 and sending me all sorts of messages. So I'm going to be relaying that to you. Then I'm going to do a tarot reading, and then we're going to tie everything together and see how it all relates, because I'm going to tell you this, what the messages were that came through, and it probably won't make sense, or it may not make sense at the beginning, but once we see what the cards pull through for this month, then everything hopefully will make sense. Right, so I'm just going to clear a bit of space for myself so we can continue this. All right, so yeah, Pisces season. And I'm recording this at the end when the retrograde is still on, the Mercury retrograde in Pisces. So that may have some bearing on some of this information coming through. So I'm going to tell you the dream. And if it doesn't make sense, just bear with me. It's a bit wild. It's a bit wild. Okay, so I'll just give a little bit of there's a bit of a disclaimer that it can be it's graphic. It was graphic and it's quite intense, but I'm not going to go into the graphics of it, right? So the first part of it, I was in like a supermarket chain, like a popular supermarket chain. So everything was happening in the supermarket chain. And there was a mix of actors that are on some TV programs that I watch. So they were there. I remember I was me, but I didn't look like me, if that makes sense. So it's like I was in another body. Okay. And I was a character that was captured and being tortured. I know, I told you it's going to be graphic, but this was like, it was more for somebody else's benefit, right? And it ended up turning into like a facial reconstruction thing. Like, I'm telling you, it's not really making sense, but hang in there. It ended up kind of being like facial reconstruction, like, I guess surgery, you know? And then when that was done, I went to sleep in one of the open freezers. Okay, I went to sleep in one of the open freezers. Okay, and then in the second part, I was in the same supermarket chain, and almost like that this was my base, and I was working in an old career but in that dream I was still working it, but it was my last day at that job. And I remember I was rushing to get there because I was going to be late. But you know, I had to eat, I had to catch public transport. I passed a good friend on the street, but I was rushing by and I didn't stop to speak to her. And at the very end, I ended up on a beach. It was dusk, and you can hear the waves rolling in, and all I can see were different versions of the symbol of Pisces that kind of floated around in front of me. Okay? So now let's do your reading and let's see how all this is going to relate. Okay? So let's just shuffle through the cards. Okay, I just need some cards. 1, 2. Wow, takes some time for them to come through, but here they are. Okay, first one. Ooh, that's you. That's the King of Cups. Ooh, the Lovers. Two of Wands. Ooh, King of Swords. Page of Wands. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Now this reading is for all areas, right? Like whatever is most prominent that's going to come out, it's going to come out, you know? So they're for all areas: health, wealth, love, spirituality. Oop. 7 of Wands. 5 of Cups. Just need 2 more guides. Ooh. Six of Swords. Finally, the 5 of Wands. So obviously I'm reading the card meanings, but I'm also getting messages on an intuitive level at the same time. So it's kind of a mix, and just go with it. So it looks like you're starting off of at a place where your emotions are in balance and you're riding the waves of these emotions, but you've got a little bit of a difficult choice ahead. I'm going to clarify these in a minute, but these are just like the first instances that's coming out here. You're also looking ahead to the future. So maybe you're thinking of a partnership. Maybe you're involved with a King of Cups type. So this can be another water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Maybe this is you manifesting that way. And you're looking towards the future with the 2 of Wands. You're looking at the bigger picture. You're trying to see the bigger picture. But it's looking like you've got a little bit of a hiccup in the way. That could be somebody. That could be an air sign. So we've got Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. But it looks like there's a little bit of a halt to it. And also this. So you've got the Page of Wands, and this is kind of your overall energy for the month, where I'm kind of getting the vibe that you're losing a little bit of steam. You know, something that you were really energetic and passionate about, you've kind of grown bored of. You could even be involved in a relationship with somebody who's quite younger, because you've got a King and a Page here with the Lovers. So I'm seeing quite a large age gap. You might be running into some petty squabbles, but also having to feel like you're defending yourself. You know, you're on the defense with everything. Next, we've got the Five of Cups. So you're letting go. You're letting go, you're grieving, you're feeling a little bit of sadness, and you're trying to move on. But still having a little bit of internal conflict, and that's sort of where this whole thing is ending. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Strength card. And the Strength card has to do with confidence. So, you know, try not to lose your confidence throughout all of this, because it's looking like there's a lot happening for you, and I kind of get the vibe that you're trying to keep your cool throughout all of it. But obviously with something like this, I mean, you haven't got a lot of major arcanas, so this is telling me that it's not anything that you didn't know about. It's not anything that is going to be really life-changing. You've got two major arcanas. It's just telling, a lot of this is going to be day-to-day stuff that you've been dealing with. Okay, let's go ahead and clarify. So let's get a bit on the King of Cups. Clarified by the Ten of Pentacles. So it's looking like whoever this character is, could be you. Maybe there was some sort of financial loss that really led you to have to make this decision that is affecting your relationship. Financial loss, it doesn't have to be financial loss. It could just be your material world, your family world just sort of getting rocked, and you're trying to keep your cool throughout all of this. Now let's get the Lovers. Ooh, yeah, some angry energy. We've got the Knight of Swords. So whatever happened, it sort of rocked things up, right? And somebody's not happy. Somebody's not happy. Okay. And it's caused some angry energy and fighting, I see. A little bit of instability that way. Yeah. Maybe there was an ending as a result. But this is where you're coming from. So either this is happening now, or this has happened already. What's the Two of Wands? Two of Wands. Where are you looking? It's interesting because this card is about looking forward into the future. But the way he's positioned, it's like he's looking backwards to this relationship and trying to see how this can move forward after this event that happened in your life. Okay. Five of Pentacles. Feelings of lack. So it's like you want to move forward, but you've got this confidence that's been shaken and you don't really quite know how. You want good partnerships moving forward, but it's not happening. Now, this partnership, it doesn't have to be romantic, right? Like, it can be with work. It can be friendship. I mean, it is the Lovers card that we got, right? So it's something very close to you where you've had to make the decision with love. And with love, it doesn't actually have to mean that's a romantic relationship. It just means that you need to look at your heart center and how you'll move forward. Is this a case of you showing self-love for yourself? Right? King of Swords. What's the King of Swords? Okay. Well, whatever happened, whoever the King of Swords is, this event that sort of stopped things from progressing It's almost like it was a blessing and you received some clarity on it. You know, good or bad, clarity is what you need, right? You need to know. What's the Page of Wands? What's Page of Wands? Three of Cups. I just wanted to get, yeah. Okay, so with the Three of Cups and it's in reverse with the Queen of Cups, it's almost like things aren't happening well on the romantic front, and that's how I'm reading it. You know, whatever it is, there could be some immature behavior coming across, and you're not seeing eye to eye, causing a lot of tears. And where normally there would be celebration, it doesn't seem like there is. Could even be a third party, but I never like to go that way with the third party situation. I don't like going that way. Not to say that it couldn't be a possibility, right? All right. Seven of Wands. So we've got, oh, again, we've got the two of Wands again. And the King of Cups came up again. So it's like your relationship has reached a point where maybe you've been feeling like you've been attacked, or you are the one attacking. But regardless, this could be, like I said, this could be you, could be another water sign that you're involved with, or it could just be you trying to keep your cool through all of this sort of madness and feeling like you're being attacked. Whatever it is, it's looking like a decision has been made, and the Judgment card has come up. The good thing is, it's almost like, because there's a lot of Cups energy with this, it's like there's Swords and Cups and Wands. So it's almost like I feel like you are really staying in touch with your emotions, which is great. Great. Ten of Wands. This is for the Five of Cups. And the Moon. There you are. Things are not what they seem. Ooh, too much. Way too many. Okay, what is the... It's like things are not what they seem. You've got that for the clarity of the Five of Cups. But the Five of Cups is all about grieving. And it seems to have brought up a lot of fears. Yeah, and I'm seeing parallels now with my dreams. Like, my dreams are like really like prophecy these days. It's crazy. So I thought I would share that with you. Okay, so what is the Six of Swords? Are you moving on somewhere? Where are you moving on to? Although things might seem a little bit hopeless. That's the Star. I love that card, by the way. Things might seem a little bit hopeless. Things are turning to the better. Don't lose hope. Let's get another card. These fell on the floor earlier, but it was in that pile of like 10, so I didn't pick them. There's going to be some sort of truth coming out. It's a Seven of Swords, and also the Empress. You know, it might be a little bit of a breakthrough, actually, because with the Empress card, it's all about birthing and doing a lot of self-care and caring for others. So it's almost like once you move on, once you make this decision to move on, as dire as it might seem, some truths are going to come out and you're going to feel more abundant in the end. Okay, and what's the 5 of, oh, way too many. What's the 5 of Wands all about? Who are you fighting with? What is this bickering all about? Is it game? Is it friendly? Yeah. With this sort of conflict, it's almost like you're almost forgetting to turn inwards and care for yourself. Now, okay, let me just tie all this stuff together with my crazy dream from last night. A lot of the messages from the dream had a lot to do with appearances, right? Appearances and how you appear in front of others and what you're doing for the sake of others. But you know, you could be actually even forgetting who you are in the process. And this is what I'm seeing here. It's almost like this deep dive into the psyche can be painful. You know, was sort of like that bit about getting that plastic surgery, right? It's painful, yes, but you need to examine why you're doing it and who you're doing it for. Do you get this type of surgery to appear a certain way and for other people? And in your case, are you in this relationship? Did you make these decisions for you out of love for yourself, or are you doing it for the sake of the other person? And it's this deep dive, like I said, this deep dive into the psyche. That's what the moon is all about. It's going to bring up a lot of fears. It's going to bring up a lot of fears. And there's quite a few reversals here, but the reason why these reversals are coming up, obviously because the retrograde, but the whole point of the Mercury retrograde is for you to start looking within. And I know a lot of people hate the Mercury retrograde, but if you look at the reasons why they hate it, is because they're late for work, like in my dream. You know, they're late for work. Things aren't really communicating properly. And it's adding a lot of hiccups. But the whole point of that is so you slow down. Understand why you're doing these things. Slow down and really take the time. That's what the 4 of Swords is all about. Because it's almost like you're refusing to take the time and look into all of this for yourself. Take the time for yourself and really examine why you're doing all of this and how it serves you. There are certain things that you can shed, like in that dream, that was like the last day in a job of an old career. So that was that decision to move on. As scary as it sounds with this, you know, you're gonna come out birthing something new, but in order to do that, you have to make that decision to move on and take that step forward. Does that make sense? I think it does. I think it does. Yeah. Pay attention to your dreams, because, you know, you are the perfect sign to be really in touch with that. And like I said, like I said earlier, is that there's a lot of cups energy here. So even though they're not all of them really pleasant cards, you are staying true to yourself. And don't forget that. Don't forget who you are and why you're doing all of these things. It might be a bit of a tough time at the moment, but it's all worth it. It's all worth it. Because I kind of get the vibe that it's been dragging on for a while, and now you're just kind of like dealing with integrating it into your life. And, you know, maybe finally you're ready to properly move on. Okay. Oh, too many cards. Let's just get one card for your overall advice for the month. All right. Shifting. I kind of feel like this came up for you last month. But it's this card is about things changing around you, and you just have to bear with it while it does. All right. This video is getting quite long, so I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for joining me on this, and please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next month. Namaste. Bye.